For most of the time, Chobits is a very good comfort anime. Everything from the lighthearted tunes of the OST to the art style to the catchy McDonald's sounding ba 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 da 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 eye catchers elicit the feeling of warmth, like a blanket's been pulled over you. I know it's not the most revolutionary anime out there, but it's got heart, and it shows from the first episode. Now, Chobits is a romance anime about a young adult named Hideki and his newfound robot companion, Chi, as they embark on daily life in Tokyo. Hideki is a typical male protagonist with most of the tropes and cliches you'd expect, but I found him to be a very fun and endearing character. Other characters in the show tend to be alright as well. Now, I want to note that Chobits is a romance between Hideki and his robot companion Chi, and while this romance blossoms, the anime spends time questioning that romance, whether it's ethical for a human and a robot to fall in love. You see, Chobits isn't always happy or lighthearted. There are moments in the show where the tone shifts dramatically, and often poses a singular question regarding human Persacomm relations. You see the ramifications of humans falling in love or treating robots like family, often resulting in their human lovers being pushed to the side, feeling unloved. These moments test Hideki's resolve in his romance with Chi, as he witnesses possible negative outcomes if he does pursue Chi. Like, will he ever fall with a human again? Can a Persacomm really provide the same emotional connection that another human being can? Now, adding in the fact that the show pushes Hideki's romance with Chi so heavily makes it clear that the answer is yes. I say this because the show tries to provide a middle ground by establishing that Chi is some special robot that can have feelings, but even then, that sort of brings out the question if human emotions can be implemented within a robot. And this all kind of brings the question to the audience, whether we ever end up falling in love with a synthetic being, something that isn't alive and isn't human yet looks like one on the outside. And also, let me get this straight, Hideki likes human women as well. In fact, it's kind of a gag how much he falls in love with any woman he meets. It's just that the only person who really shows him attention is Chi, the being right in front of him, always by his side. I don't want to get super socially conscious or aware or anything like that, as I'm not someone well versed in this stuff. This almost feels like an allegory for a person living in the modern day. Most of us, including me, prefer staying home in our own worlds. It's definitely a lot more comfortable than going outside and having to abide by the rules and expectations of society. But through this, it's become harder for some of us to even step outside. It's becoming easier and easier to leave our lives at home, and this makes it harder for us to form genuine human bonds in the real world. So if there ever were some new Persacomm, or even just a super emotionally intelligent chat GPT with an anime girl picture slapped on it that comes around, how many of us will replace verbal social interaction with that? Rather than getting possibly rejected by other people, or having to muster up the energy to go outside, it would be so much easier to just form bonds with chatbots, or, in the far future, even Persacomms. This does have some scary implications though, as it could very well mean the end of families. What would a world look like where you could design your own partner so that they will always love you just the way that you are? That you could be vulnerable with them to show them your deepest, darkest, most pettiest version of yourself that you'd never be able to show to your human partner. In future relationships like these, there'd be no such thing as compromise. Looking at the world today, these questions will be asked of us in the future. I mean, just looking at how little people are dating in first world countries shows a gap that could be filled with synthetic partners. And how creepy would it be to have even more human aspects of our lives be subject to privatization? I guess we'll just have to find out. But when that time does come, would you date a Persacomm?